San Fran wins the toss and elects to take the ball first. I can't, for the life of me, understand any rationale. I know what Kyle Shanahan said, okay? Here's what he said. He said, we wanted to be the team that had it third. Okay, so in the new overtime rules, if the first team scores a touchdown, extra point, second team scores a touchdown, extra point, well then, the first team gets the ball back and it's sudden death. Okay, I get, okay, that kind of makes sense. Here's the problem though. If you go first, the second team has the option to go for 2 after the touchdown, and you're giving the second team 4 downs. I am baffled that you would give Mahomes 4 downs and let him know what he has to have to win it. He gave Mahomes the moment.
You're showing your cards early. That's all you're doing.
Show it, Ryan. You're not showing your cards. You're throwing them down and saying, I quit the game.
Right. Well, I mean, I think somebody made a mistake and nobody's willing to come out and say who it was. And I think that somebody is Shanahan.
I don't think it was a mistake. He said that, Ryan, and maybe he's full of shit. He said they had decided what they were doing before the game. If it went to overtime,
are full of it. Their coaches are the same guys that will come up and say, man, I bleed red and gold for the 49ers. And then next week, he's gone to a bigger contract for another team.
I don't know how many times I got to say it. I'm not going to be the Alabama coach.
Right.
Right.
17 years later.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't hold anything.
So you don't buy what he's saying?
No, I don't. I think he
what do you think happened?
I think he just made a blunder. I think I heard Romo say, I think it was Romo, that maybe the defense was tired. Yeah, right. Exactly. But how sweet would it have been if you said, all right, well, Patrick Mahomes comes out, they score, they get an extra point, and then you drive downfield and you score, and then you have the game on the line, and you say, you know what? I'm going for 2 to win this.
Right.
We either win this now or we go home. I would have been happier with that than how the game ended if I'm a 49ers
that's what
fan.
I'm saying.
So,
Ryan, in my opinion, whoever I am, if I'm getting the ball second and say the first team got a touchdown, I'm going for 2. The Chiefs admitted afterward, they said they had discussed it during the week. They said if we get in that situation and get the ball second and say 49 score a touchdown, they were going to go for 2. Why would you not? That's my whole point. And it feels like a lot of people are missing that. A lot of people are talking about other things. No one seems to be really hammering the point that even if the 49ers got a touchdown, Mahomes is going to go for 2, and maybe he doesn't get it. That's one play, but it's Mahomes. He's going to get it, dude. I don't understand why you give him the pressure that moment. This is coaching malpractice. After the game, multiple 49ers players, this isn't one rogue guy. This is like a handful of them. They said they didn't even know.
This is so embarrassing.
Ryan, they didn't know the overtime rules.
Yeah, one of them said, I didn't know the overtime rules until it came up on the Jumbotron. Like, what?
In the Super Bowl.
It's the biggest game of the year. You don't think you go through everything? Like,
but none of them did.
Or even if you didn't, go to one of the refs and just say, hey, man, what's the rules? You got a ref on your sideline for the reasons that, if you have any questions, they can answer them for you.
Well, I'm not blaming.
And there's not just refs on the sidelines, but like, go ask one of your coaches on the sideline. I don't care what it is. Like, figure out what it is and play.
I think you're being too generous, though. I think you're missing. You're missing where I'm more mad about it. Is that
they should have known well before that, right?
It's on Shannon. How do you not have? How do your guys not know that?
Yeah.
The Chiefs players said they have been discussing the new overtime rules, and preparing for situations like that since training camp. Ryan, over the course of a 17-game season, a playoff run to the Super Bowl, not once in a practice did it come up. What? It's almost too hard to believe. You know what I mean? That's why if it was just one 49er player that said it, I would think he was just an idiot. But like a lot of them said they didn't know it.
Yeah.
How the hell does that happen? I think this is a bigger black mark on Shanahan than any decision made in the game.
Yeah, you're preparing so hard offensively and defensively that you forget the fine details that actually could weigh the outcome of the game.
Right.
And it just shows you that Andy Reid is so much better of a coach as it stands right now than any other coach in the league. Like, to have your team fully prepared for any circumstance. That's like going to the military and forgetting how to tell a guy to tie a tourniquet.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, I can fight all day long, but as soon as I get my legs shot off, I don't know how to stop the bleeding.
Right. It's like you guys didn't cover tourniquets?
Pretty important part.